Eleanor Vance stood in her sunlit kitchen, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingling with the faint scent of lemon cleaner she had used on the counters just that morning. At 72 years old, her mornings had become a ritual of quiet solitude, pouring a cup, gazing out the window at the garden she had tended for decades, and listening to the distant hum of neighborhood life. The roses were blooming again, their petals a vibrant red against the fading green of autumn leaves. It was October, and the air carried a crispness that hinted at the holidays to come. But today, that peace was shattered by the shrill ring of her landline phone. She picked it up on the third ring, wiping her hands on her apron. "Hello, Mom. I need you to handle Christmas dinner this year. It'll be 15 people from Mark's family, and you know how you cook." Sarah's voice was casual, almost breezy, as if she were asking Eleanor to pick up a carton of milk on her way home from the store. There was no preamble, no "how are you?" Just the demand, dropped like a stone into still water. Eleanor felt the world tilt slightly, her grip tightening on the receiver until her knuckles ached. 72 years of life, 45 years of marriage to Robert, 30 years as a widow raising Sarah alone, and now this. 15 people, Sarah? And why do I have to take care of everything? Her voice came out steadier than she felt. But inside, a storm was brewing. From the other end, Sarah sighed, the sound laced with impatience, like a child denied a toy. "Oh, Mom, because you have free time. We work all day. Besides, Mark's house is too small to host his entire family. Yours is perfect, it has that big dining room and spacious kitchen. And let's be honest, no one cooks turkey like you do." Eleanor closed her eyes, leaning against the cool tile of the kitchen wall. This was the same kitchen where she had prepared countless meals for Sarah as a child, pancakes shaped like hearts on birthdays, chicken soup when fevers struck, late-night sandwiches after teenage heartbreaks. It was where she had waited up, heart pounding, when Sarah snuck and passed curfew from parties. Where she had collapsed in tears after Robert's funeral, the weight of sudden widowhood crushing her. And now, it felt like a prison, a symbol of her unending role as the giver, the fixer, the one who never said no. "Sarah, honey, I'm not a domestic worker. I'm your mother, please, Mom, don't be dramatic. It's just a family dinner. You can buy everything, and I'll give you the money afterward. Mark already talked to his mom, Brenda, and she's bringing the desserts. You just need to take care of the main course, side dishes, appetizers, and clean the house before and after. You know, the usual." The usual. Eleanor felt a bitter laugh bubble up in her throat, but she swallowed it down. When had this become the norm? When had she allowed herself to be reduced to the servant in her own family? Her mind flashed back to the first Christmas after Sarah married Mark 5 years ago. Eleanor had hosted then, too, cooking for 12, decorating the house with twinkling lights and a fresh pine tree, only for Mark's family to arrive late, complain about the traffic, and leave early without helping clean up. She had smiled through it all, telling herself it was what mothers did. "And Mom, one more thing," Sarah continued, oblivious to the turmoil on the other end. "Mark's family is a bit particular about food. Nothing too spicy, Aunt Carol can't eat gluten, Cousin Matthew is vegetarian, and Mark's grandma only eats very well-done meat. Oh, and we need red wine, but not too expensive because it's a lot of people in the end." Each word landed like a slap, sharp and stinging. It wasn't just the dinner, it was the accumulation of a lifetime of small indignities. The way Sarah assumed Eleanor's time was infinite, her energy boundless, her dignity expendable. "And what are you going to do, Sarah, while I'm cooking for your husband's entire family?" "Oh, Mom, I'll be there helping, of course. I don't know, set the table and serve the drinks. Mark will be busy tending to his family. You know how these family gatherings are." Eleanor felt something snap inside her, a deep, resonant crack, like ice breaking on a frozen lake. It wasn't her heart, that had been bruised too many times. It was her patience, her endless well of yes, her compulsion to be the perfect mother who never rocked the boat. For 72 years, she had been the solver, the adapter, the smiler in the face of collapse. "Sarah, I have a question for you. When was the last time Mark and his family invited me to something? When was the last time they treated me like the grandmother of their future children and not as the free domestic worker? Mom, don't start that. They appreciate you very much. It's just, well, you know how Mark is with his things. He's shy. Mark, who had never hesitated to borrow money for his car repairs, who had shamelessly let Eleanor foot the bill for dinners out, who had used her home as a hotel for his parents' visits. Shy was a convenient excuse, a shield for entitlement. All right, Sarah, I understand perfectly. Eleanor's voice shifted, cold, measured, unfamiliar even to her own ears. Sarah noticed, her tone turning sweeter, more coaxing. That means yes, Mom? You'll take care of everything? I promise it's going to be a beautiful Christmas, and everyone will remember how amazing you are at cooking. Eleanor gazed out at the garden, the roses she had planted when Sarah was 5, the rusty swing where she had pushed her daughter for hours. Listening to giggles that now echoed only in memory. Her world had shrunk to this, being useful, being needed, but never truly seen. Sarah, my love, I have news for you. Your husband and his relatives are coming for Christmas? Perfect. Then I'm going on a trip, and you can take care of everyone because I'm not a babysitter, much less an employee. The silence was profound, a void that swallowed sound. Eleanor could picture Sarah's face, pale, eyes widening in shock, the horror of having to manage 15 demanding guests herself. What? Mom, you can't be serious. A trip? Where? With whom? Mom, this is ridiculous. Everything is already planned, everything is planned by you, Sarah. Without asking me if I wanted to be part of those plans, Eleanor hung up, her hands trembling as she set the receiver down. For the first time in decades, she had said no. The word hung in the air like a liberation, terrifying and exhilarating. She walked to the living room, where shelves lined with photographs chronicled her life. Sarah at 5 in a pink polka-dot dress, toothless grin beaming in the garden. Robert, handsome in his military uniform, before life's burdens, bills, illnesses, disappointments, wore them down. Early Christmases with Sarah. When motherhood felt like fulfillment, when had it all shifted? When had Eleanor ceased being a woman with dreams and become merely mom? Robert's death 30 years ago had been the turning point. Sarah was 15, rebellious and grieving. Eleanor vowed to be both parents, working double shifts at the factory until her hands calloused and her back ached. She sold her wedding jewelry for Sarah's college tuition, forgoing love for stability. She swallowed loneliness like bitter medicine, convinced Sarah was her purpose. When Sarah married Mark 5 years ago, Eleanor hoped for respite. Naivety. The favors started small. The mom, can you lend us $2,000 for Mark's car down payment? We'll pay you back next month. Months turned to years, debts forgotten. Mom, watch the house while we're in Cancun? Host Mark's parents, our place is too small? Always yes, always smiling. In her bedroom, Eleanor opened the nightstand drawer, pulling out a worn notebook. Meticulous records, a habit from her working days. The numbers stared back, over $15,000 in 5 years. Birthday dinners, car repairs, Christmas gifts, flights, rent when Mark was unemployed. Her pension, her savings, her future medical funds, drained for them. Never a question about her needs, her leaky roof, her medications. She sat on the bed, tears flowing, not sadness, but rage. Rage at Sarah's ingratitude, Mark's exploitation, but mostly at herself for allowing it. The phone rang, Sarah again. Mom, please. You can't do this to me. I already told Mark you were going to cook. He invited everyone. What am I going to do? I don't know how to cook for so many people. Learn, Eleanor said calmly. Mom, this is absurd. Cancel that ridiculous trip. Where are you going alone? With what money? Let's be realistic. You can't travel at her age, as if 72 rendered her invalid, needing permission. Sarah, I have enough money. The same money I've been spending on you for years. What are you talking about? We've never asked you for money. The lie twisted Eleanor's stomach. Sarah, I have all the receipts, all the proof. Every cent I've spent on you for 5 years is documented. Silence, then a smaller voice. Mom, that's different. We're family. Families help each other, you're right, my love. Families help each other. When was the last time you helped me? More silence. Eleanor knew Sarah was scrambling for examples that didn't exist. I'm always here for you, Mom. I always call you. You call when you need something. There's a difference. The truth lingered like smoke. Eleanor stared out the window at the street where she had raised Sarah, mourned Robert, grown old waiting for respect. Tomorrow, I'm going to the travel agency, she said. And you're going to have to figure it out yourself. That night, sleep evaded her. At 3 a.m., she brewed chamomile tea, the kind she made for Sarah's childhood nightmares. Irony. Now her nightmares had names: ingratitude, abuse, wasted years. She sat at the table, memories flooding. The first belittling, 3 years ago at a neighbor's baby shower. Sarah's quip about Eleanor's new dress. Oh yes, Mom bought new clothes. I hope she didn't spend too much. You know how old people are with money. Old people, as if Eleanor's wisdom counted for nothing. Mark's first dinner at her house. Hours cooking chicken in green sauce, saffron rice. Refried beans, handmade tortillas, salsas. He ate silently, burped, said, "It's all right, but my mom puts more chili in hers." Sarah laughed. Christmases passed, cooking for crowds while they lounged, criticizing everything. Sarah never defended her. The emergency room cut while cooking for Mark's birthday. Sarah arrived 2 hours late from the salon. Oh, Mom, was all that drama necessary? It's just a few stitches. Selling Robert's ring for $3,000 when Mark lost his job, unrepaid 2 years later. The flu week alone, too weak to stand. Sarah didn't visit, but called post-recovery to ask for plant watering during their getaway. Aunt Helen's funeral, Eleanor weeping for her sister-in-law. Sarah whispered, "Mom, stop crying so much. People will think you're overreacting. Besides, I need you to pick up my dress from the dry cleaner tomorrow." 30 years of small deaths, buried to keep peace. The phone rang at 4 a.m. Mom, are you awake? I can't sleep. Mark is furious. His parents bought tickets. You can't do this. Eleanor felt no rescue urge. Sarah, it's 4 a.m., I know, but let's be reasonable. What if I pay for ingredients? Help in the kitchen. The problem wasn't help, it was assumption. Sarah, the solution is simple. Host at your house, but it's too small. Rent a hall, that costs money. And my time, house, work. Don't a silence, heavy with unspoken truths. Mom, you're being selfish, selfish. The word to guilt women for needs. Sarah, I'm hanging up. Don't call until you solve it without me. She unplugged the phone. Silence, beautiful, profound. Morning brought a strange lightness, freedom. No wondering what Sarah needed. She dressed in her favorite cream blouse, combed her hair, truly saw herself. Eleanor Vance, woman. She walked downtown, steps firm. The travel agency on Main Street, between pharmacy and bakery. Good morning, ma'am. How can I help? Emily's smile genuine. I want a Christmas trip. Wonderful. Destination? With family, alone, as far as possible. No pity from Emily. Beaches, mountains, cities. The photos, Cancun sands, Swiss snow, Spanish streets. Dreams from magazines. Budget, $5,000, from her notebook's tally, with $5,000, something incredible. Spain and Italy tour, Madrid, Barcelona, Rome, Florence. 3 weeks, hotels, meals, guides. Perfect for rediscovering yourself. Rediscover. Resonated. Departure, December 20th, return January 10th, over Christmas, no hesitation, book it, passport, credit card. Sarah's scoff. Last renewal, why renew? Where'd you go? To Europe, Eleanor thought, smiling, leaving with ticket. Different woman. Choice for happiness. Message from Sarah, Mom, Mark says if you don't cancel, he'll tell family you're selfish. Ruined Christmas. Want that? Eleanor replied, tell what he wants. I'll be in Europe, won't hear, immediate call. Eleanor ignored, bought luggage, phone off 3 days. Silence wonderful. Prepared like teenager, wine red suitcase, beige coat, scarves, shoes. Guidebook, marking Prado, Sagrada Familia, Colosseum, Venice Canals, day 4, phone on, 47 missed calls, 12 voicemails, 23 texts. Anger, blackmail, victimhood, dialed Beatrice B. Walton, honest friend, Eleanor, where've you been? Sarah called hysterical, told all at corner cafe, you look different, more yourself, be laughed at selfish question. I've waited years for this, seen Sarah's treatment, Eleanor's defenses, you're learning good mother versus useful mother, words like rain, loved wrong, protected too much, made incapable, if she never speaks again, discover if she loves you or what you do, truth terrible, confuse necessary with loved, go to Europe, rediscover who you are without being mom. Next day, confronted Sarah face to face, Sarah arrived annoyed, arms crossed, this stops. You're acting childish. Family talking, what family? Marks, who never invites me, notebook, $15,000, Sarah defensive, we're family, how helped me, silence, cried manipulatively, can't leave me alone, you created problem. Learn, hire, order, costs money, my work doesn't a fury, jealous of Mark, tired of being free worker. Sarah stormed out, go on stupid trip. Sort without you. Don't cry when lonely, no guilt to peace. Expected remorse, but none. Woke without anxiety, breakfast leisurely, walks noticing details, autumn leaves, couples, children, doorbell, Brenda, Mark's mother, elegant, cold, need talk about trip, inappropriate timing. Plans made, how many invites me as guest, silence, enjoyed hosting? Good cook, welcoming house, how many times thanked? No favorite color, music, hobbies, nothing, not person, function, Brenda, fix, nothing. Can't fix disrespect. Dinner elsewhere, cutting contact extreme, setting boundaries, ever happy doing, no. Busy useful, forgot happy, hope find happiness on trip, recognition small, meaningful, calendar, 5 days to flight. Peace, hope day before, anticipation like child. Dressed favorite terracotta dress, makeup celebrating lines, doorbell, older gentleman, flowers, David Hawthorne, Emily's father. Same trip. Company, surprised. Not romance, just share meals, photos, story, widowed 2 years, promised wife travel, lave, hope find man before Maria's husband, connection, escaping lost identities, like company, condition, each pays own, agreed, gave daisies, left. Someone saw interesting woman, message Sarah, flight tomorrow, yes, don't leave angry, leaving free, talk back, when ready listen, love you, but not confuse with availability, dinner simple. Savoring, aware Madrid tomorrow, something hers, future possibilities, 3 weeks later, Barcelona Terrace, Café con Leche, journal, day 21, happiness choice daily, David with ice creams. Friendship easy, museum walks, lost in Rome, laughter at accents, messages Sarah, desperate, furious, manipulative. Perspective, not emergencies, last, canceled dinner. Fight with Mark. Parents disappointed us. Understand why left. Hope well, confirmation, right decision, thinking? Worth depended useful. Love earned indispensable. True love exists or not. Don't disappear stop useful, David nodded. Shared, lost identity caring Maria. Don't miss cooking, miss self before maternal function, wanted art teacher, dream postponed David, learn piano, laughed, life begins 70, night, Barcelona lights. Return tomorrow, home sanctuary, journal, don't need permission live. Respect demanded. Freedom not doing don't want. Begin rest life, closed, leaned back. Future hers, liberation, flying, 6 months post-return, art studio, paint-stained hands, lighter heart, 73, mixing colors, talent landscapes, house sanctuary, decisions mine, Sarah talk differently, asks how am, invites lunch without expecting pay. Progress, Mark still Mark, not my problem. David visits weekly, tea, stories. Piano lessons. Movies friends. Uncertainty beautiful, self-love survival. Sacrifice not love. True love respects individuality, bank grown. Savings remodel, classes, luxuries, massage, books, flowers, discovered not invisible, stopped seeing self. Value self, others do, boundaries improve or eliminate relationships, both good, sadness lost years, but accept, let go, hands create art now, woman returned, Eleanor Vance, artist, traveler, friend, wake uncertainty exciting, deserve right story, never too late change ending.